if I bleed tonight, if I am sad tonight, I don't have a job to find. And if I work tonight, if I'm so tired tonight, I'll fall asleep when I'm home, when I'm home.
NXT UK Championship match recap. And all the wrestling world was buzzing about this wrestling match that was hard hitting, physical with a brutality that was off the charts. If this match isn't the match of the year, I want to know what is, because in my mind, nothing beats this match. And this very match should be shown to those who are on the fence about this brand or see the name NXT UK and go, nah, I'll pass. You shouldn't. And I think, like I said, this has to be the barometer for people to know the type of wrestling action you're going to get from NXT UK. Now, moving on to the first match, and it's Gallus, and they are a full unit, and they're going to go face to face for one-on-one or six-man tag team. On six-man tag team or tag, or what do you call that? Anyway, they're going to be facing Pretty Deadly and Sam Gradwell. Now, Gradwell's been out of action for 2 years. He's in great shape, as is Joe Coffey, who's gotten lean and mean since the hiatus of NXT UK. In the end, Gallus picks up the victory with a discus clothesline by Joe Coffey. I forget what he calls it. It's a pretty lengthy name for it. Nigel McGuinness said it, but I didn't catch it either time. So trying to, but I'm like, just say a discus clothesline, because that's pretty much what it is. And it did what it needed to do, and it scored them the victory. And no, man. Well, Pretty Deadly didn't get pinned, but he did pick up the loss. Sam Gradwell was the one that got pinned. But, they're gonna have to try harder again to try to score a future shot at the tag team champions. Now, a recap of the betrayal of the Hunt against their former friends Webster and Bash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews, who as of this moment are not medically cleared to compete. And Rampage Brown is introduced to the training staff, and then they get all the people that are in there back there training, all stopping, looking at him, and he's all, carry on, boys, go ahead and don't let me bother you, And his presence is already being felt. Every time he's walking there, people stop, look his way. So this guy seems to be a pretty big deal. So let's see what happens when he finally debuts. Now, Aaliyah James versus the fashionista Jinny. And Jinny is all talk along with her in-ring offense. I mean, she's berating her younger and more inexperienced competitor. Stupid girl is all we hear Jinny refer to Aaliyah James. A rolling Liger kick puts an end to any offense James may have, and the 1-2-3, and the fashionista picks up a victory, and the road to the women's title on NXT UK is near. Very, very quick match. She really didn't have any kind of difficulty. There was, like I said, a series of offense there by Leah James, and then, like I said, with that rolling Liger kick, to the end to that. Now, she's on the mic, as we all know Jinny to do. And she says, "This is an example of how ruthless I can be. There is a reason why I am the queen of NXT UK. It's because I have something that all these other girls don't have. Killer instinct. I see how people walk around here thinking they are untouchable, like people like Piper Niven, believing they should be on the top of this division. Oh, but we hear that familiar music of Piper Niven herself, who is none pleased of Jinny singling her out. Say it to my face," says Piper, and Jinny answers back, and it's pretty much not on the mic. They're just at each other, And Jinny says, "I'm saying it to your face." There's a lot of tension here. "Oh my goodness," says the NXT Women's Champ Kaylee Ray. "Well, let's have a hearty laugh. You two are funny. Now I know I like to talk, but I have a very important thing that backs that up. Let me give you some clues. It's white, golden, and shiny, and it is around my waist. And neither are the two of you ever gonna have it. We talk from the champ. Now, since you two don't have this to back up your claim, why don't we try something else? As the champ slides a steel chair into the ring. Now, Jinny, I know you would stab your own granny in the back just to get a shot at this title. But Piper, I don't think you have what it takes. She doesn't think she has what it takes. You had the perfect opportunity to take everything and you threw it away. So let's find out who has that killer instinct you like to talk about. Then Jinny slaps the taste out of Piper. But Piper headbutts the fashionista and rocks her down to her knees. And she shows Kaylee Ray how much of a killer instinct she does have and delivers a chair shot to Jinny, who is on all fours. I mean, she's down and out, and she lets her have it. Then Aaliyah James tries to calm Piper down, who then delivers a Falcon Arrow to James, showing no mercy to no matter who gets in her way. Piper then grabs Jinny, and she is going to use that chair again on Jinny. And that she does by driving Jinny onto the steel chair with a Falcon Arrow, and the pain is seen in the eyes of Jinny and the fear in the eyes of Kaylee Ray, who hightails it out of there with Piper on her tail. So that looks like it's going to be the match that we're going to be seeing in the future. They had a title match before. It was a great match, and I wouldn't mind seeing it again. Eddie Dennis is in the hunt. Well, he has acquired himself a primate and a wild boar. Dennis feels was exploited by Webster and Andrews, by Flash Morgan Webster and Mark Andrews. They claimed that the wild boar was their friend, but they exploited him. That's what Dennis is saying. Kind of manipulating the situation. You know what I mean? And I think that Hunt was the prime moment where he knew that he could get in there and kind of work on their, I guess you could say their, I don't know, but there's just the fact that they're, they are at a point where they felt that Flash Morgan Webster was exploiting them and Mark Andrews was exploiting them to the point where they had to attack them and whole backstage thing where we didn't know who it was, but it ended up being us two in the hunt. But because of that, Andrews and Webster are kind of not medically cured right now, so see what happens when they do come back and we have that tag team feud going, and it's going to be a good one. Very good. Now, Piper and Kaylee Ray, they continue to brawl backstage. And it's announced that in 2 weeks, in a Falls Count Anywhere match, Piper Niven and Kaylee Ray will face each other for the NXT UK Women's Championship. And also Rampage Brown will make his debut. And also, that's not all, Bomber Dave Mastiff and the Mustache Mountain himself, or a member of the Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven, will face one another in the other semifinals match for the Heritage Cup. And they will go on to face either A-Kid or Noam Dar, who will face each other later on in the main event. Now, speaking of the main event, it's A-Kid versus Noam Dar in the opening round of the semis. And it seems to me that the first round, since both men are fresh, they find it hard to earn a fall. And in this match, the first round has no one on board yet. Very competitive, very fast-paced. Nothing, Second round starts, and who will score that important fall and get on the board? Crossface by A-Kid on Dar, but Dar taps out as the time ran out. So in the second round, no fall went to either man. The third round, and will it go to nil as well? A-Kid submits and appeared to tap to save himself from injury. He was tapping, and it was brought up by one of the commentators that he had to have done that because he did not want to risk serious injury. It's better to just tap out and then you make up for it as the match goes on. This one is one of those things where, like I said, every round counts, every second counts. You can't willy-nilly and dilly-dally and let yourself give up a fall, but it's better to do that and be able to fight another day, as the saying goes. Now, on the fourth round, Noam Dar goes to work on that injured arm. With a series of pin attempts and with a unique roll-up with a bridge, picks up a fall for A-Kid, and both men are at a fall apiece. Yeah. Now, fifth round, and both men are weary and careful as to how they will go about scoring that deciding fall. It's all or nothing now, with less than a minute remains, and A-Kid hits a crossbody, but Dar kicks out. That was a real desperation move on his part. He wanted to get that pinfall in order to be on the board and go ahead and win. Now 30 seconds remains, and now it is a foot race to score that deciding fall, but time runs out. The sixth round is urgent for both men, and if no fall happens, a seventh round sudden death will have to decide, because in the tournament, the winner must be decided. And Dar sets up for a finisher, but a stiff kick to the cranium of Dar sets him up for the Fujiwara armbar or a submission hold, and A-Kid taps out the Scottish Supernova and advances to the finals to face either Dave Mastiff or Red 7. This match took the breath out of both men, who were gasping for air at the end of this, because in a regular match they can go at their own pace. But it is a tournament. It is tournament time. This tournament time is of the time is of the essence. In this tournament, time is of the essence, and they need to score a fall as soon as they can. So they're rushing and they're really, really expending themselves as they try to get that fall, and to do that and hurry up. It's almost like beat the clock kind of a thing, challenge kind of thing. So yeah, at the end, every these matches that I've seen, these guys are winded, they're out of breath, they're like trying to gasp for everybody. I'm surprised they don't have oxygen at either corner, But yeah, man, NXT is, in my opinion, becoming the brand to watch. I enjoyed it this week, and I hope you did too. That is my rundown and thoughts of NXT UK for November 5, 2020. I got to watch it on time. Last week, I kind of so busy that I didn't watch it right away. But like I said, I enjoyed it, and for those of you who stopped by and checked it out, this video, I appreciate it. And in closing, as always, take care.